Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be taking the stock cooler off of this Red Devil 7900 XTX. We're not going to try to waste too much time, so I'm going to be cutting away as I do things like undo screws and stuff. So first thing you're going to want to do is, you got a cable there you're going to have to disconnect. And you're going to have that cable that you're going to have to disconnect. So I have actually not done this before, so some of this we're going to learn together. So I'm going to go ahead and undo those ribbon or those couple cables, and then I'm going to flip this thing upside down so we can start working on the back plate. All right, so I've disconnected the cables. This super flat one here was super easy. This one took a little bit more finessing, but I did end up getting that off. As you can see, I'm hand holding this. Sorry, I cannot find my tripod. All right, so I think my plan of attack, is to do the screws on the back plate. So you got this one, this one, this one, these two. I don't think there's not one under there. And then obviously I'm going to go ahead and undo the retention plate. Be sure when you do the first one slowly so you don't spring it up and potentially lose a screw. So I'll be right back once I do that. All right, so I've taken off the retention clip. That's over there. And I've taken out all these screws. Don't forget the one here that's got the void sticker on it. And of note, all of these screws have springs on them. So try not to, they're attached pretty well, but just make sure you're not losing any of those springs. At one point in the future, you may want to put this back on. So maybe that won't apply to you, but maybe it will. So yeah, we're going to flip this over now. All right, so it didn't seem like I actually needed to do anything here. So I'll show you my plan of attack was, excuse me. I actually grabbed, let me set this down over there. So I actually used a little plastic pry tool. This actually came with my water block for this, and I pushed it up in here to use part of this frame to pull this up. So I don't know that I'm going to be able to do this one-handed, but this whole cooler should actually be free to come up now. It's starting to come up here. So, all right, I'm going to set this down and get it a little bit looser. All right, so it did in fact come off. So all it was those screws on the back, at least for getting the stock cooler off. Obviously, I'm going to clean that off. And water block came with some stuff, but I'm going to be using some MX6. So let me see what we got here. We got, obviously I'm gonna have to take the pads off of this thing. So it looks like we got 1, 2, I'm sorry, let me use it. So we got one here, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You got 11, 12, 13. So I believe those 13 screws, once you take those off, we should be good. So I'm going to go ahead and take those off, and I'm going to clean that. All right, so I have all of those screws done. So all of the screws are going to be these ones here. They have little washers on them. I'll try to grab one here. They have little washers on them, so make sure if any of those washers come off, you don't lose them. They're very flexible. I don't know if they come off, but just keep an eye on that. The 3 that were part of this frame are actually going to be a little bit bigger. They're going to be a different screw. And what I noticed is there's 2 more here that go onto the back of the PCI slot bracket. So you're going to have to undo those. Sorry about my finger. So I've cleaned all that off, got off the paste. I'm going to repaste this and take off, well, I'm going to repaste that when I do the water block install, but I'm going to take off the rest of this frame. All right, so I got the last screws out, those two that were on that PCI bracket. They're very tiny, try not to lose those. I don't know if I'm gonna need them for the water block or not. So this piece, once that piece is free, it just comes off. Move that away. And what I did discover is there's one more cable on the underside of here. So be very careful when you're doing this. This one should come out super, super easy. So, all right, so I'm gonna unplug that. All right, so it is now free and clear. No more cooler, no more backplate, no more nothing. So thank you for watching the video. I hope this helped you out a little bit. I'm going to be doing a unboxing and install video for the water block, so if you'd like, keep an eye out for that one. Thank you for coming.